Well, kids, I've got another miracle story of Jesus, and I'm excited about it. Jesus did all these miracles, and he did a lot of miracles in a boat. We got another miracle in a boat story. But before I start, I wonder, do you like to fish? Do you like to fish? Do you maybe go with your parents and go fishing sometime, or go out in a boat and fish? Most of us, if we fish, we get a little pole and we put it down in the water. We try to catch the fish, and most of the time, when I talk to your parents, there's a lot of fishing. There's not a lot of catching, and but this is the kind of fishing that we do. But did you know that back in the days of Jesus, they didn't fish with fish poles. They fished with nets, and they had nets, and they'd go out in a boat, and they would fish, and they would throw the net. They'd throw the net out into the water, and then they'd wait for a while for some fish to come, and then they would pull in the nets. And in the story for today, the disciples, they're out in the boat and they're trying to catch some fish, and they're having a lousy time of it. They're not catching any fish. They're all night long. They're fishing. They're like your parents. They're fishing. They're not catching. And and this is how they make their living, and it's kind of pretty sad. And they come back into shore after a long night, and they're pretty, they're tired, and they're sad, and they haven't gotten any fish. And Jesus is there on the side, on the side of the lake, and he jumps in the boat. He says, "Let's push out. Let's go fishing." And they kind of roll their eyes at, "Gee, oh man." And they get out there, and Jesus says, "Throw out your nets." So they throw them out. And but their hearts weren't in it, because they're thinking to themselves, "Well, yeah, Jesus, okay, we've been fishing all night. We haven't caught a single thing yet." But when Jesus asks you to do something, you do it. So they did it. Amazingly, in the story, all of a sudden the nets begin to swell, and the boat kind of rocks because there's so many fish in the net, and they grab the net and they're pulling with all they got. They're pulling with all they got, and they can barely get it into the boat, and the net is practically breaking, and they haul this fish in, and it's the greatest catch of fish they've had in a long, long time. It's a miracle. They hadn't caught anything all night. They get on the shore, and they're just amazed at Jesus. He did this great miracle, and Jesus looks at them and he says, guys, you've been fishermen, and you don't seem to be very good at it. You haven't been catching very fish, but you stick with me, because I'm from now on, you're not gonna be a fisher of fish. You're gonna be a fisher of people. You're gonna share all about me and about the kingdom of God, and about the scriptures, and about me, Jesus. You're going to share, and people are going to believe, and you're going to catch people, and they're going to come into the kingdom of God. And it's going to be just like that big catch of fish that you just had. So kids today, just what I want, keep talking about Jesus to your friends. You've been called to be a fisher of people too. Tell everybody you can about Jesus. He'll change the world. He'll change your life. He's the greatest thing going. So God has called you to be a fisher of other kids. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.